background trap music. I don't know what this is. This is a beat called Bells. I guess you can kind of hear some bells. No whistles. We have arrived to the end of the week. So we head into the weekend. Friday means every team in the league is playing. We only have to focus on 14 games tonight. But it's a pretty robust slate. And we have a couple of missions while we're researching. It is Flex Friday, so I do want to throw a card at that. And then we have to maintain the MLB Grind premium spreadsheet as we go game by game, tightening the screws on pitching. I did just do a full sweep of stats. Make sure the max Muncie prices are right. I did everything. I know I for sure did the stats though. Let's see, max Muncie, ATH, yes. How we doing, guys? How you been the last couple days? It's been a while. What did we do? Monday? One of these days, I've been having some crazy weather here. Yesterday's slate sucked. Wednesday was kind of a split up all day. So we did, was it Tuesday? It's been an empty week. What up, TJ? Yo, TJ, we were talking about you the other day. You and Dean. I was saying it'd be on my DFS tout bucket list. One of these times, I'll do it for free. We gotta get me, you, and Dean. I will gladly sit in for somebody on RG just to say I did it. I'm gonna do some Spidey bombs. What's up, Joe Ross? What up, Hojen? What up, Cujo? You took 6th and 121 single entry last night. Let's go, Joe. Lou Bob didn't do it for you. Dang, dude. How's the dog food recipes? They're good. I'm into making dog jerky lately. Wait, what is this screen? Hello? What the freak? Guys, I just realized my screen is all jacked up. What's going on here? All right. No one noticed that? There we go. That's better. I use Streamlabs for everything, so when I sign in and out from Twitch to YouTube, sometimes dumb stuff happens. I'm glad I noticed it. Lofty mentioned me this morning? What'd he say? Was it wrestling? Dude, Lofty's one I gotta get one in with too. I was looking at all the people I've done shows with and not done shows. Lofty, Adam, Dean. I think I've done shows with everybody else. I think that I could, Lofty's a legend though. Okay, we gotta do a little bit of updating. We're gonna go game by game here. Update our pitcher spreadsheet, our pitcher projections, fine tune our run totals. A lot of this stuff I inputted before I went to bed this morning. And we'll go from there. We got 2 games on this appetizer. It was positive. Yeah, no, Lofty's always been nothing but cool. Like I'm pretty blessed that all the DFS beef you guys have ever seen, it never involves me. I'm cool with everybody. Everybody's cool with me. I love it. Although I want to fake a beef with somebody and get a wrestling match. All right, Phillies lineup. Let's confirm it. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Alec Bohm, Castellanos, Max Kepler, Real Muto, Bryson Stott, Otto Kemp, Brandon Marsh. So funny enough, Kyle Schwarber, top of the bomb detector, but this game not really gonna impact most of you guys for the main slate. So what are you gonna do? Gossman rocking at 24.2% overall K rate. Low average to both sides of the plate, but especially low to lefties so far. But a 1.41 homer per 9 to lefties, 9.5% barrel rate. Very usable. Phillies are a tough team. You're going to get them in the bandbox. So a little bit of high risk, high reward. The high reward here is in the home run possibility of Kyle Schwarber. Now, you would think without Bryce Harper in the lineup, protected him, it would slow him down, but it really hasn't. So I'm going to tweak. Not tweak. I'm going to go put Gossman's K rate in. Let's go Gossman on his walk rate. We'll give him a solid 5. Let's give him a props, most analytical style, fun character. Man, Lofty's to go. He's going to make you blush. Stop it. Sort of fake news beef with you. Football. Nah, I might get schooled if I'm beefing with somebody in football. I don't really know the analytics. the A dot. Imagine me and Terry, dude. That's what we gotta do. Me and Terry gotta create a fake beef. Ranger 21.5. Walk rate for Ranger, pretty low. Anyway, Ranger Suarez. 21.5% K rate for him, 2.5 expected ERA with a 3.61 Sierra. Anytime the expected ERA and Sierra have like a big difference, it always tickles me pink. But a 1.6% barrel rate, pretty elite. Blue Jays on the season, a little lackluster, a little mundane. The WRC Plus column since the beginning of last year features Vladdy, features Ernie Clement, a little bit of guys that are toting that average line on a 2-game slate. When you have 4 pitchers to choose from, it's gonna get ugly real quick. So you gotta kind of eliminate the super science ceiling minimum that you would expect from rostering a guy like a 9K Suarez or even an 8K Gossman, and you basically just ask yourself who's going to be the top 2 scoring pitchers, and everything else will kind of shake out in the wash, right? So even at 10.2K on Fanduel for Ranger Suarez, 9K for him on DK, we are dealing with a tough ballpark, and looking forward a little bit. Mr. Roth from Roto Grinders did mention there's a little bit of rain in the Washington game, and that's something to keep an eye on. Is Ranger Suarez a strong chance of being a top 2 scoring pitcher? Yeah. Not necessarily a lineup we attack day to day on a broader slate for strikeouts, but you just kind of have to take what you can get and bet on talent here if you are attacking this 2-game slate. So let's put in some out projections, and we will tie a bow on this one and keep it moving. I don't want to spend too much time on this 2-game slate because I know most of you guys ain't playing it anyway. And then we'll keep it moving to the main slate and save some time for that. So 17.5 on Gossman, steam on the over. So it's almost fair to put 18 outs on both guys, and then I'll go. Let's go 2.5 for the QS column. Wait a minute, he's not even supposed to be here. The C4 frozen bombshell though. C4 has something that I tried. Right now I'm on something called Venom. I had to make a supply order for like trash bags and house stuff, and they didn't have ghosts at that store, and I didn't want to leave. Yesterday I was just lazy, bro. I was like, deliver me everything. I only want to open my front door for 2 seconds. It's too hot. So all they had was Venom, but it's not bad. It's got a little taste to it. Anytime I'm not drinking Ghost, I feel like I'm cheating on a girlfriend, but it's not bad. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Interesting. Okay, how do we rank this out? So I think we're gonna go pitcher heavy in this game, and look at the next game maybe for a little bit more offense, just because the pitchers in this game are a little bit better. So I'm gonna go Ranger Suarez, then Kevin Gossman, but I'm not like in love with him. I'm just trying to tear him from the grand scheme of the slate. Then Phillies, then Blue Jays. Blue Jays would be kind of unique to get him in a ballpark like Citizens Bank, but Ranger Suarez ground ball rate is so elite at suppressing power that I'm not really running to do anything fancy with it. Venom, yeah, it's called Venom. It looks like it has like a dragon eye or something on the can. I don't know. This is the second can I got. I drank one last night. It's all right. I feel like it's about time for me to cycle off energy drinks for a week or two, because I don't feel like they're working. But they taste good, dude. Energy drinks, whoever's in charge of creating flavors for energy drinks, they're doing something right. Because, dude, I feel like you could make some of these drinks without the caffeine and it would be delicious. Why are we not doing that? We should be doing that. Somebody get on that. All right, let's put a light yellow in here. Let's link Mr. Roth. Scattered shower storms will be around the area near game time. Yellow for now, but we'll update around 5. So we'll put possible weather, and we'll put Roth report, link them, and go for the cycle alpha energy drinks. Well, I just feel like anything, but especially caffeine. And this could be in my head. I'm pretty sure there's some science behind it. Your body kind of, gets immune to it. You drink 5 cups of coffee today, go a week without drinking coffee, and then bring it back. That's just in my head, though. I assume it's right. It's like your body builds an immunity. Because I drink like 2 cans a day, and for Ghost, that's like 400 plus milligrams of caffeine. That's probably not good. I used to drink those Bangs with 300, or was it Bang something with 300? That was crazy. That was drinking so much. Hey, Nats have a confirmed lineup: C.J. Abrams, James Wood, Nate Lowe, batting third, Luis Garcia, Josh Bell, Alex Call, Jose Tena, Carver Ruiz, Robert Hassel the third. Run total for the Marlins 4.3, Nats 4.5. So this game lost half a run since I have been asleep. Edward Cabrera on the bump, taking on Mitchell Parker. Cabrera almost 1.5 on the whip. Good strikeout stuff. A lot of wasted pitches. Walking lefties over 10% of the time this year. That's actually better. That's a 3-year rolling best in terms of walk rate to lefties, and the same with righties. So he is walking less, but he is still walking an aggregate 10%, and is also allowing a lot of power to righties. Luckily for him, the Nationals lineup comes out very lefty heavy. Alex Call, the only righty represented, so we can kind of hyper focus on his lefty splits, which, although 49 innings of sample this season, dude, it amplifies his K rate, it suppresses his power allowed, and dips into a healthy enough 40+% ground ball rate. So not that the Nationals are a team we ever target for strikeouts, but you can kind of look at this row alone, right? The 3.2 xFIP, the 30% K rate, the 0.76 home run per 9, be like, yo, I don't know, 4 games slate, is that usable? Is it clickable? It kind of is. With that said, some of these games in spacious Lone Depot Park maybe bails away some of the home run power, and then the fact that he's throwing less, or he's walking less, allowing him to be a little bit more selective with the pitches that he's throwing. So I think there's likely room for this home run per 9 number to go back up, because the 9% barrel rate is actually higher than it was last year. The hard contact is down 5% last year, this year to lefties, but I don't think it's going to be this drastic of a drop off. So maybe we expect that to pick back up. If we did, I'd be looking at a James Wood 241 ISO against righties since the beginning of last year. C.J. Abrams 200 plus ISO, guys like that. But I'll say Edward Cabrera not off the table. just hyper focusing on those lefty splits. So let's go do a projection here. I'm gonna give him 25%. I'm not gonna give him the full 30% K rate, but I am gonna give him more of the seesaw towards his K rate to lefties than his righties. And then for his walk rate, we'll also lean heavily on that. So we'll just go 10% there. Yeah, what up, Lone Lofty? Yeah, it's, you're not the first person to say that. That's pretty cool, man. Love some Lofty. Shout out Lofty. Lofty is cool. You watch him, he's just a dude. You know what I mean? And I'm just a dude, so I appreciate just dudes. Sometimes people get in front of a camera and they try to pretend that they're smarter than they are, or try to be smarter than the room. Not me, not Lofty. You know, guys like that. They're just dudes. We're here to have fun, watch some sports. So I love that. Shout out Lofty. Mitchell Parker, we'll give him a 16% K rate. And then a ground ball rate of, not ground ball, walk rate of 10%. So I think Mitchell Parker, out of the 4 pitchers, it's kind of weird. I like his stuff the least, but he has the best matchup on the slate. So you might get away with that. This is a team that doesn't walk. There's only 1 positive WRC plus in this split since the beginning of last year. The K rate's not insane. There's a couple guys that are top heavy. Augustine Ramirez, but you got to get around his power. Although that power has been pretty platooned. And then Connor Norby. So how do we rank this out? I'm gonna go. Cabrera, Nats, Marlins, Mitchell Parker. Even though he has the best matchup, I gotta go bad hitting beats bad pitching, right? We don't have outs on that. I imagine it's because of the potential weather. So with Cabrera, we might give him 15.5. And for Mitchell Parker, we might give him, I think give them both 15.5, and then that'll zero out our early stuff. Your EKG line? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Dang, dude. He's done that before. That's how Lofty did. Dang, I haven't mentioned that. I haven't talked about the EKG in a minute. I haven't been, so when you guys last saw me like 2 years ago, I was full bore, like I paid my rent off of DFS, and you know, not just DFS, the YouTube, all that stuff. Now it's a little bit more casual, to where it's just kind of like a side income. I make maybe $1,000 to $2,000 a month off of it, between, you know, the subs, the YouTube, and then just actually playing. But back then I needed, like, I do it a lot. So the EKG was like, you know, stay afloat, trust your process, beep, beep, just like an EKG. If you flatline or you die, whatever. But if you look at the EKG, you'll see it squiggle. Like if you put a line across the middle, sometimes it goes below, right? And beep. But every time, as long as you got that pulse, that's where the payoff is. So I would always relate it, you know, your bankroll management to your EKG. Keep that pulse. Underdog gave you a 60% boost. Gonna do a 6-man. Let's go. Hey, Josh, I'm gonna do so PrizePicks has everyone, y'all know this. Every Friday they do the Flex Friday. You have to hit promotions. You have to opt in, like I just did. It's a maximum of $20. So my goal is hopefully we can put together a 5-pick flex or 6-pick flex, whatever it is. And If it cashes, cool. If it doesn't, you get the $20 back, then you can lose it again tomorrow. So if you guys are interested in doing that, I think I'll try and, well, we will. If you guys got like a fire pick, we'll freaking do it. Yo, Luis Acevedo, appreciate that sub on YouTube. Who has a better matchup, Crochet or Yamamoto? Yankees match scare me tonight. Yeah, didn't the Yankees just took it to Crochet too? Yeah. Yamamoto. I'd probably say Yamamoto. Not probably. I would say Yamamoto. That's not to knock Crochet though. Crochet's a beast. I don't expect him to get beat up every game. Okay, anything else we need to do on this early slate? No, we opened it up, right? So this is our stack rating for the 2-game early slate, and then this is our pitcher projections. So according to the pitcher projections, it actually likes Kevin Gausman. I think the strikeouts are helping out. If you look at just DraftKings points though, it's pretty tight between Gausman, Suarez, and then Cabrera and Parker together. So ironic that the two highest pitcher projections are against what are probably the two more fun offenses. Although I would say don't sleep on the Nationals. I think Blue Jays have a little bit more name value or name brand. When you look at this offense this year, what they've done versus what like the Nationals are doing, you might be surprised. And you're even, yeah, I don't know. You can't do Underdog and PrizePicks in New Orleans? Yeah, but you could sports bet in Louisiana, yeah? Or no? Yeah, right? I don't know. If you have legal sports books, you should not be mourning the loss of Underdog and PrizePicks. I wish I wasn't forced into parlays just to get some prop bets. All right, we'll move on to the main slate, yo. Like I said, we go game by game here. You guys got anything on any game that we're on? Throw it, dude. Throw it. Let's hunt these boards, you know? Okay, Angels and the Orioles. First up, Angels 4.6 run total. Orioles 6.2. What did Mr. Roth say on this one? I have a tab somewhere. I got it. There it is. Same situation as the game above, since the ballparks are only 40 minutes from each other. We'll update around 5, so you gotta keep an eye on that. Let's go ahead and actually we'll just copy the same thing. Put a little yellow there. No, oh, New Jersey. But you can't do anything in New Jersey, huh? Okay, but you're okay. All right, brother, Larry. What? Hello. Are you like inland Jersey? If you're by a freaking border, bro, you better take a bus, cross the bridge, reserve some. Oh no, you can't do that for sports betting. I'm stupid. Well, I guess you could do that for DFS. Remember back in the day when DFS was, or you could just cross the bridge and make your bets and then come back. Hey, dude, you gotta get you out of Jersey, bro. I gotta get you out of there. New Jersey's not a real place. Have you ever been there? Last time I was in New Jersey, almost got in a fight with a gas station attendant. I just driven in from New York. It was probably like, or from Texas. It was probably like 2010. And I'd been mostly in Philadelphia doing some wrestling stuff. And I go to Jersey because the hotels in Jersey were cheaper. So I stopped to get gas. I start pumping the gas. This crackhead looking dude with a flash vest walks up to me and goes, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" And I'm like, I'm finna have to drop a fool in New Jersey and go to New Jersey jail with a Texas ID. And then long story short, he worked there, and apparently Jersey has some crazy law where you can't pump your own gas for job creation. But this dude got hot. He was mad that I was pumping my own gas. Like it took some type of degree to swipe a credit card and hit 87. I said, this is not real. You can't make no left turns in New Jersey. You gotta go loop-de-loop. Dude, New Jersey is just not real, bro. It's just not real. It's just not real. You like crocheting Gavin Williams with a 5-man Ranger stack? I haven't really absorbed the rest of the slate yet. But I mean, you have a plan there. 5-man Rangers. I know the Rangers did good yesterday. Am I ready to... You'd have to... yeah, I don't know, man. Five Rangers? I wouldn't have the warm and fuzzies. Looking at Gavin Williams' matchup against the Mariners, sure. Definitely some strikeouts in that lineup, even though it's a super talented lineup. But hey, you get that feeling in your bad knee about the Rangers. Go for it. You know me, I'm not really gonna talk anyone off of a stack. Pitchers, I might talk a little bit more matchup, but stacks are stacks. Friday night baseball is what it is. If you think Adrian Hauser is the guy that's going to give up the most homers tonight, go for it. But you're pitching right there. I mean, Crochet's a beast. Gavin Williams, the Mariners have like a 3.5 run total. I get the pitching. I wouldn't push back on the pitching. That's all that matters. If you're going to ask me, I don't see a hole in the pitching. I don't know that the Rangers would be my favorite stack, but it's baseball season. Yeah, what up, Ricky? You can't pump your gas in Oregon? Dude, I don't... What's in Oregon? I'm trying to think, what would ever bring me to Oregon? Not to hate on anybody in Oregon. Portland? Hey, Angels have a confirmed lineup. We're looking at Zach Neto, Nolan Shanuel, Mike Trout, Jorge Soler is batting cleanup. Logan O'Hoppe, Joe Adele, Lamont Wade Jr., Luis Rengifo, and Christian Moore. Jack Kachenowitz taking on Charlie Morton. Interesting spot. Angels, one of the most powerful teams, while also striking out amongst the highest clip in baseball, face Charlie Morton, who has not been striking out at a high clip, especially not righties. 19% carried to righties with a 173 home run per 9 to righties. And I would say this is not really a ballpark upgrade for the righties here. It is for the lefties, but for the righties, it might be more neutral than people think, if not a step backwards. But just attacking the power allowed by Morton, a 173 home run per 9 to righties. Does have a 48% ground ball rate. Also has an elevated line drive rate. Kind of you could see both sides type of situation. But if you're going to allow a 300 plus average and a 173 home run per 9, not striking out righties, which is kind of where we get into a problem against this Angels lineup. They could strike out, but if they don't, you're dealing with an aggregate 180 plus ISO for over half the roster. Decent OPSs and low enough K rates on a few of these guys. Shanuel, Trout, Soler, or excuse me, high enough walk rates. Dude, what is my brain right now? High enough walk rates on a bunch of these guys too, that they'll, wait and see the right pitch. The WRC plus is nothing fancy. I'm not really that enthralled with Morton on the grand scheme of a slate with 24 pitchers. So no on Morton, yes on Angels, but the Orioles are probably the more interesting story here. And stop me if you heard this before. I really hate when the Orioles look good because they have screwed me all year. But here's a part that does kind of favor some of their better hitters. Looking at Jackson Holiday, Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn to dip into their really green ISOs, and even add in, Colton Cowser, guys like that against Jack Kachenowicz, who has struggled mightily to strike hitters out. A 300 plus average to lefties, a 2.25 plus home run per nine to lefties on more innings this season than last season. Just isn't finding it with a single digit swing and strike rate, and the barrel rate has gone up over 3% last year to this year. So Orioles are in a spot to score runs, and I hate it. I hate it. There is some rain we got to deal with, but yeah. And then we know, backing up, Kachenowicz is one of the worst bullpens in all of baseball. The Angels bullpen. Let's go get a grasp on that. I know it's like the Angels, the Nationals, the D-backs, the Rockies, teams like that. So we're going to look at team pitcher stats, just kind of put a ranking behind it, Yeah, Angels come in as the third worst bullpen on the season in terms of just ERA, which is, not a super fair metric, but at this stage, it's kind of what we got to go off. But Baltimore's not far behind, fifth there. So might have some quality second half innings, especially if some weird rain stuff happens early on. But neither one of these pitchers, I think it's more likely that Charlie Morton trolls. Oh, man, Kochenowicz's ground ball rate is actually pretty solid too. Guess there's a lot that could happen here, but I'm gonna lean on Orioles, Angels. And we gotta put a pitcher projection in here. So Kachenowicz, let's go 16% K rate for him. Charlie Morton, let's go 21. Walk rate, let's go 10.5. Charlie Morton, let's go 11. Royals are the gutless Padres of 2024. You have no heart. Fire me? I'm already fired. Let's just put 15.5 on both these guys. I think all these potential rain games, the board has left the pitchers off. But those pitchers are not guys I really care about anyway. So I'm just going to throw a 15.5 on their projection. 24 minutes until half-price appetizers from Carl's Jr. Jesus. That's goals, bro. Do you have an alarm on your phone? You ever not pay attention and you're like, oh crap? That's peak male fatness right there. Down here we have a place called Bush's Chicken. And every Tuesday they have a thing called Tender Tuesday, and it basically gets like 20 tenders, $20 or something like that, where you get tenders much cheaper, a whole box of them. And then some nights we'll go out and eat dinner on a Tuesday, and all of a sudden I drive by it. I'm like, oh my God, it was Tender Tuesday. I paid full price for burgers. Then you just feel like regret. Red Sox lineup is confirmed. I'm being very vulnerable and fat with that. Or you buy a pizza from one joint and then you check your email and there's a 50% off coupon at another joint. And you're not like some loyalist. You're like, fudge. Red Sox lineup, green light, 4.7 run total for the Red Sox, 4 for the Yankees. Yankees coming from Kaufman. Ryan Yarbrough on the bump, taking on Garrett Crochet. We've seen this before. A couple days ago, Garrett Crochet pitched against the Yankees, had one of the rougher games of his season. However, still walked away with 9 strikeouts despite 5 earnings and a homer. Let's go look at the metrics. Was there a little bit of unluckiness involved? So we'll go game log off of Fangraphs if I can find it. Here we go. What up, OMG? No Duranza. What up, Tizzle? Here. What up, Spencer? Y'all feel the struggle. 13.4% swing and strike rate in that game. Batted ball tells us a 178 xFIP. So If you have said the sentence or heard the sentence, I can't play Garrett Crochet against the Yankees because they just beat him up. Well, just so in that game, he had his second best xFIP of a game all year with the 203 Sierra. So what it means is he got a little unlucky. What does that mean? Could have been a bad defensive play. Could have been a just a crazy ball that squeaked through. And he had a 0% barrel rate, which is kind of crazy. He gave up a home run. I'm assuming he gave up a short porch job to, like, I don't know, Volpe or something. So if you were worried, and he had 357 BABIP, that's pretty unfortunate. Sunday Fat Shack has 15-cent burgers. What the freak? Dude, you know what I hate down here? Every month or so, some random gas station will do. We're gonna put Garrett Crochet 1, by the way. We'll do like something like 15 cents off their gallon of gas, and the cars be lined up around the block. And I'm just like, 15 cents is, I guess it looks better on a sign for this gas to be 15 cents cheaper than that one. But then you'll see people waiting an hour to fill up their tank, and what, 13 gallons? Calculator. We'll say, so somebody's filling up a 13-gallon tank, right? Times 0.15. To save $2.50. Like, people are so dumb. And it clogs up traffic. I don't know. I'm on a rant right now. Like, sure, it's cool to get a, you know, little break on gas. But we not out here rocking 100-gallon tanks, bro. So people just don't think. All right, give me Crochet. Give me, I hate to do it, but give me the Red Sox and give me the Yankees. I don't really have a reason to get the Yarborough. There is some trolliness in Yarborough, as this Red Sox lineup can strike out. Aggregate 25% against lefties since the beginning of last year. Just a 12% carry for Abraham Toro. Everybody else above average. We got Roman Anthony and Christian Campbell. Right, Roman Anthony's a default number, the 22% K rate. You know, he's one of the top prospects in the world. But the 22% is just our median number that we put when somebody doesn't have enough sample size, right? So there is some ability to kind of troll us with some strikeouts. And Yarborough has had some games at this price point, the Dodgers, the Angels, and the Rangers, that you would take. So I wouldn't fault you if you wanted to get there. We've seen him throw as many as 93 pitches. I'm not that enthralled with it, but I get it, right? Maybe I'm just a self-hater. It burns that, but right, Power, like, and it never fails. And in that gas station, you know, they make out like bandits because people are going inside buying drinks or whatever. And I'm just like, it ticks me off to no end because it makes no sense. $2 is not, it's not worth that much. You could, I don't think you could pay me $10 to wait an hour for gas. I just don't like waiting, dude. If I need gas and I drive by, like, our HEBs are the cheapest gas stations, right? If I drive by, first of all, one thing I've learned is everybody in the world's gas tank is on the other side of my gas tank. So I can never just get behind a car and wait anyway. I have to get lucky. Mine's on the passenger side. And I swear this whole city, all their gas tanks are on the driver's side. Which I don't know what that's about. I don't wait. Like, I will just keep driving. Either I'll get gas later or I'm going to go to a different gas station where they have more pumps. But the fact that people wait around to save $2, okay. Like, you'll see people with, like, lawnmower tanks, you know, filling it up like Like a bunch of crack fiends getting free food. When a new McDonald's or whatever opens, it's like people never heard of McDonald's before. Yeah. Yeah, we just had that. Our new McDonald's sucks, bro. Really, all you're getting is the same food with less trained people, so it takes longer and more likely to mess up your order. But the bathrooms are new, so that's good. They got a bounce house. Let's go pitcher projection here. For Yarbrough, we're gonna go 23.1. Crochet, we're gonna go 31. I'm noticing a pattern here. Yarbrough's struggling with righties as far as walk rates. We got just 2 lefties in the Red Sox lineup. So I'm gonna go 6% on the walk rate. And then for Crochet, pretty clean. We'll go 6.5. Buc-ee's. Dude, Buc-ee's is pretty elite. We only have 2 Buc-ee's around Waco, and it's like 30 miles north, 30 miles south. I'm surprised there's not one in Waco. But Buc-ee's is kind of funny. Buc-ee's is getting like world famous now. I also don't like, okay, I get it, but I don't get it. Like Buc-ee's is pretty expensive when you go in and look at their side, like the beaver nuggets and all that. But the bathrooms are immaculate. The gas, they'll never, like the gas station, the amount of gas pumps they have is crazy. And they're always just so clean. And you know they're paying their people a good wage because they literally have it listed out there. You'd be surprised, man. These people at Buc-ee's are making bank, bro. You can't make fun of nobody being a cashier at Buc-ee's, bro. They're making like $25 an hour. I've got freaking pension plans and everything. I'm like, ha. I gamble on grown men playing baseball. What's up? Or you could just stand there in AC all day? That's cool. Mets hosting the Rays. I think the funniest thing about Buc-ee's, especially if you're in Texas, you know you get stuck on a highway for hundreds of miles. 35, 45, whatever. Buc-ee's will have billboards, and I'm not joking. Have 200 miles worth of billboards for one Buc-ee's. I'm not, like, there could be a Buc-ee's 150 miles away. It'll have a billboard with like a funny saying and, you know, the amount of miles. So it kind of like really builds suspense to get there. Rays have a 3.5 run total. Mets 4.7. Taj Bradley taking on Clay Holmes. Mets lineup is confirmed. Taj Bradley, a 3.3 expected ERA, $1.25 on the whip, 21% K rate. A lot of power to both sides of the plate since the beginning of last year. You know, obviously the Steinbrenner field is not doing him any favors. He gets the benefit of City Park today, but he's also getting the detriment of this Mets lineup. And we're starting to see Juan Soto really come alive as of late. So, hey, GG Mon, 135 homer per 9 to lefties, almost a 4 xFIP. Similar numbers, xFIP and power to righties, a little less on the power allowed. But I get it. The 56% ground ball rate to lefties, 43% ground ball rate to righties might troll us a little bit, but you gotta definitely respect it. This 1 through 5 of the Mets lineup, and we've even seen a little power surge from Jeff McNeil. I don't know what's in there. I don't think I believe it, but Jeff McNeil has 4 homers in his last 6 games, 5 games, something like that. So what's that all about? And it's is he a platoon guy too? 2 at bats, 4, 5. So he's hitting. And Jeff McNeil historically is a guy I expect to be more of a good hitter than home run guy. But right now he's behind some high OBP guys, and maybe he can keep it going, or if nothing else, you know, knock him in. So I think we're a little bit interested in the Mets. We're also somewhat interested in Clay Holmes. Holmes is kind of like Jordan Hicks for me, where I think I believe in him more than I should. But 6+ innings is a realistic range of outcomes, something we've seen in most of his games in the last 2 months. Can we get a strikeout per inning? Well, that's the part that's easier said than done. 3 Ks against the Rockies in 7 innings. I F my life. 3 Ks against the White Sox, 5 against the Red Sox. There's a couple of games I could give him, and a couple games I can't accept it. The Rockies is Exhibit A. 21.5% K rate on a sub 10% swing and strike rate. Almost a 20% on the called strike, and the barrel rate has shot up to 8%. So the Rays do have half and half here. Half this lineup's going to strike out liberally, and the other half is going to be a little bit more, I don't say half, but a couple of these guys are going to look a little bit more scrappy with it. So I do like Clay Holmes, but I think he's kind of better profiled for like Fanduel, where if he's not getting those Ks, as long as he's not getting hit up, it means he's putting the ball in play, and his defense probably helps him out, and you're more likely to get to 6-7 innings and scoop up that quality start. So we'll go number 2 in the same game ranking, Mets, Holmes. Don't really have a strong interest in any of these Rays bats. If I did, it would just be clicking Brandon Lau, Jonathan Aranda, maybe Junior Caminero. Those are the 3 guys I lean on mostly anyway, but in Citi Field, it'd be those 3 if I got there, and I don't really have a strong reason to get there. The ground ball rate for Clay Holmes is just really, really high. He has let him slip to righties a little bit, but am I that enthralled with Caminero? Probably not. So give me Mets, give me Clay Holmes. Don't think I'm getting to Taj Bradley. And that's all I got to say about that. What's up, Dave? With the Dallas a lot, Buckies are always out of the way. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't find them a lot in cities. I find them in like smaller cities. But like, I think it's because they get such a good deal with some of the local counties, and the property's cheaper. Cities are just like cluttered with 7-Elevens and quick trips and stuff like that. I think Bucky's feels more like a road trip destination or a road trip companion. It's not somewhere like I need to go get gas, I'm gonna go to Bucky's. It's more like Bucky's is fun. It's like an amusement park of gas stations. So you make it a point there to stop there. You know, gift shop, all that stuff. It's like the I don't know. It's like a Cracker Barrel of gas stations. And whatever it is, it's working for them, dude. Because every time, it almost don't matter what time of day it is. I drive by, that place is packed. But if you're like in the city, you're just going to the quick trip, the 7-Eleven, the HEB, whatever. Maybe that's the thing too. Maybe they're just trying to stay away from HEB gas stations, because I don't care what that beaver says. HEB for life. I'm just kidding. We didn't put a Yarbrough. I'm gonna go 15.5 on Yarbrough. Crochet, we probably need to give him like 18. Yeah, I'm gonna go 18 on Crochet with a 2.5. Right, MD, that's what I'm saying, bro. Bucky's will be plugging their gas station for hundreds of miles. Just kind of hypnotizing you, subconsciously building hype. Yeah, it's pretty nasty, huh? 69 degrees, a little bit of precipitation. Yeah, I'm not in love with this game. South Quick Trip Pizza ain't bad either. Dude, I don't go to Quick Trip a lot because we don't have a lot of those around here. We have a couple. They usually have my Ghost. Like there's one 7-Eleven that has my Ghost, and when I walk in, they basically go get it for me. But Quick Trip usually has it too. But the cleanest Quick Trip around me is like by the Planet Fitness in the next town over. And that's the ease of access means a lot to me too. Are we zeroed out on projection? No, we didn't do a Bradley Holmes out projection. Is this game got rain? What's going on? All right, Bradley. I'm gonna go 15.5 15.5 for Bradley. I'm gonna go 17.5 for Holmes. I think I'm gonna go 16. Jesus, 167. Calm it down. For Holmes, we'll go. We got a couple fun gas stations between Waco and Dallas that are worth stopping by if you're ever on that stretch. There's a Willie Nelson truck stop or something. I don't even know that. I'm gonna say like Italy, some random city that I can't name. And then in a town called West, which is weird that there's a West Texas and then there's West Texas. In that town called West, there was an explosion there a couple years back, if it sounds familiar. There's a Slovakians and a Czech stop. It's like Czechoslovakian people. It's been there for as long as I can remember, and it's kind of like a local lore. They sell some pretty cool pastries, and it's pretty popular. I know you get some good kolaches there. Let me go fix this Encarnacion. Encarnacion. Can you usually get elote outside the gas station? Dude. That is something that I don't get a lot. But I think I talk to a lot of tourists around here. And they're always asking me, man, what's the best Mexican food around here? And they're expecting some corporate like chain or something. And I'm just like, what do you mean? It's all these food trucks, bro. That's the best place. 25th Street food truck. But those people a little bit more affluent, and they don't want to mingle with the plastic chairs on the side of the road in the dirt parking lot. I'm like, bro, that's where the good food is at, bro. The lower the health code rating, the better the food, bro. If I go into a Waffle House and people look like they didn't just get out of county 3 days ago, I don't want it. Okay? I don't want it. 3.9 runs, so I already did that. All right. So what's going on with the Tigers here? I had Montero. I'm over this opener bull crap. So I'm gonna leave Montero in there. Herder might get 2+ innings. Are we sure it's Montero? Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna leave Montero in the projection, but it's all stupid. Nick Martinez, 17.5% K rate for him. Not a lot of power allowed. 6% barrel rate. Put that in Comerica. I'm not too excited about anything. I like picking on Montero with lefties. I think I'd just be cherry picking from this game, to be honest. You like Ellie? Cool, go get him. Nick Martinez, 43% ground ball rate, sub 30% hard contacts, 6% barrel rate. If the Tigers are gonna click, man, I usually like them against more gas kids. I'll say the Reds bullpen is attackable, but they're not as like atrocious as some other bullpens we mentioned. And this ballpark is a little bit trolly, so either run total stands out a lot. So I'm just this game's kind of a wash. If I ran 20 lineups and I didn't have a single piece of this game, it's whatever, dude. I don't think I'm that upset about it. Greasy tacos, more bang for your buck. 100%. They're not. There's some, at times I've gotten extra food just because I'm fat. Like, they'll be like, no, you need another scoop. Yeah. I don't have to pay nothing. That's you're not getting that from corporate training, brain dead mouth breathers at a taco place with 20 cameras, bro. All right, let's go back to the early slate real quick and get some confirmed lineups. Blue Jays, Bichette, Vladdy, Kirk, Ernie Clement, no, George Springer, Ernie Clement, Addison Barger, David Schneider, Miles Straw, Andres Jimenez. Green light that lineup. And then the Marlins lineup. Xavier Edwards, Otto Lopez, Eric Wagaman, Connor Norby, Dane Myers, Kyle Stowers, Heriberto Hernandez, Nick Fortes. All right. Early slates, greenlit. Nothing really changes. We did get because of that lineup for the Blue Jays. Ranger Suarez and Gossman have a little bit more separation now. I'm not sure what did it. I guess I don't know who I had versus who I don't have. I guess because who we add. Anytime we add a Schneider, Miles Straw, Jimenez, not really a big ISO guy. All right, so it makes a little bit more separation for Ranger Suarez in the projection. I want my Waffle House cook smoking a cigarette when I pull up. I want him in the parking lot, looking slightly annoyed that I even pulled up. Standing outside the front door, where he begrudgingly opens the door. You say, "Oh, thank you." He doesn't even say you're welcome. He just, like he just grunts. That guy finna break his foot off in my omelet. You know what I mean? So stupid. 17.5% K rate for Nick Martinez. 15.2% for Montero. No reason to play Montero. Scoop and score a win, I guess, on DK, but ugh. 5%. Look at 5.2 on the walk rate. And 9%. Rockies and the Braves. Dirty T. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hawks a loogie before he comes in. And you realize he didn't wash his hands. It's whatever. Jordan Beck, Tyro Estrada, Hunter Goodman, Ryan McMahon, Brenton Doyle, Mickey Moniak, Orlando Arcia, Castany. I can't type today. What's going on? Tyler Freeman. All right. Rockies lineup is greenlit. Run total sitting at 3.1. Going down. Acuna, Alex Verdugo, Matt Olson, Marcelo Ozuna, Albie, Sean Murphy, Michael Harris II, Nick Allen. 5.6. Jesus, brother. 5.6 run total for the Braves. Late food spot for me is Steak and Shake, Whataburger, Jack in the Box. Yeah, I'm a big Whataburger dude. Only thing about Whataburger, don't get me wrong, patty melt for life. But if I go to Whataburger after hours, bro, it's a 30-minute minimum wait in the drive-thru. And it's down here we have 2 lanes, bro. A 2-lane drive-thru is crazy. But they know you ain't going nowhere else, and it's fresh, and you're gonna love it. But I'm so microwave brained. But usually after a wrestling show, I go for two patty melts, just a sandwich, nothing else. No fries, no drink, water maybe. And it's like $18. Elder versus Herman Marquez. Elder, a 21% K rate on the season. Pretty high ground ball rate to both sides of the plate. Striking out righties more than lefties at a noticeable enough clip. Because the Rockies only offer up 2 lefties here. and those lefties strike out a bunch. Nobody in this Rockies lineup has a positive WRC plus since the beginning of last year against righties. So Bryce Elder has to be on the radar, especially for Fanduel, because he might go deep. Went 8 innings against the Giants on 107 pitches. So I don't know if it's a thing, but like complete game bet could be possible here. But the fact that he shot up 80 pitches to 107 in one game is kind of crazy. But I guess it's not fair. We saw 99. So I think Elder has a real chance to be a problem. I think I have a single entry on that I reserved on FanDuel. Elder looks like the most fun FanDuel click at 8,500 against a 3.1 run total team. I'm in. And then German Marquez, a 1.42 home run per 9 to lefties. The home run per 9 to righties is pretty low, but the hard contact rate's still at 40%, and the line drive rate's still pretty doggone high. So I'm not that scared, right? A 5+ expected ERA. You're not going to get me away from Acuna, Riley, Olsen. Like this 1 through 5 is still a sexy enough stack that we're involved. I'm not going to play Marquez. I'm not going to stack the Rockies. So let's project it out. 14% K rate for Marquez. Elder, I'm going to give him a little bit of room for K rate progression because his righty splits are pretty good. 291 xFIP at 23% K rate. The home run per 9 feels a little fake, to be honest. 1.8 versus a 54.5% ground ball rate. I guess the hard contacts are the roof. The barrel rate's up there. But we might get away from that against the Rockies. So I guess basically what I'm saying is we got to weight the righty splits a little bit more with just 2 lefties. So I'm going to give him a... we'll just go 22. So I'm light. 6.5. Let's go 6.8. Elder. Let's go 5. Gotta put some outs here for Nick Martinez. 15.5. Go 14. I'll go 13.5 for Montero. Marquez. Do we give Marquez 5 innings? Yeah, we do. Go where it can. And then for Elder, I'm gonna go 17.5 on the thing, but yeah, I feel like he could go crazy. Wingstop, terrible weights. Okay, my toxic trait is I'm not a wing guy. I don't know, man. My favorite thing from Wingstop is the fries and the ranch. Shake Shack is good in Texas. I mean, your food's gonna be cold but delicious. I don't think I have a Shake Shack here. We used to have a Steak and Shake, but that's shut down. I never went there. I literally never went there. Like not once. There's a place called Jake's Burgers. That seems to be the shake spot. But I'm not into shakes, bro. It's too hot to be out here drinking dairy. Elder's top 3 owned. Yeah, I can see it. Hashtag Rockies. Is there any weather from Atlanta? Scattered storms to the west of Atlanta may sneak in after game starts. We'll update this with the other games around 5. All right. Keep an eye on that. Moving on. White Sox and the Rangers. White Sox 3.7 run total. Rangers 5. We got Adrian Hauser against not Jacob deGrom, against Sean Armstrong. Armstrong might be the best name for a pitcher. Think about it. That explains the 1-run jump before I went to sleep. Armstrong's... All right. I don't know anything about Sean Armstrong. I guess I should have just let the spreadsheet tell. 27. Is this going to be a bullpen thing? Let's figure it out, man. Is it Sean Armstrong? Hello? Breezy, what you got on the Rangers? Is it Armstrong? Is it just a random pick a name bullpen thing? Rangers just dropped. Dunning with no Dane Dunning. This is Sean Armstrong will start for the Rangers on Friday. All right. What can we uncover here? I don't really think there's many scenarios where I research myself into a White Sox stack. Or at least it wouldn't be against a specific pitcher, I guess. We just bet on talent. Which Tauchman, Luis Robert, all right, crazier things happen. It looks like Armstrong's just out here throwing 1 inning, 1.1. So it's just a team effort here. Also, I assume the roof is going to be closed, and it will be. All right. Let's confirm this Rangers lineup for us. Josh Smith, Wyatt Langford, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Evan Nakata. Hey, Mr. Carter. Tell me, where have you been? Adolis Garcia. All right. Let's just go straight to it for Jackson. We're not really going to spend too much time on these two. 25. Hauser, 17.5 outs. For Armstrong, I'm gonna give him 4.5 as an out. Dane Dunning is probably your guy. Dane Dunning. There's a name. All right, we'll go with that. So somebody asked earlier about the Rangers 5-man. I don't see it personally. Hauser neutralizes righties, to say the least. I don't know where this strikeout rate's coming from. That's kind of crazy and not normal for him. I guess he switched up his pitch mix, but the ground ball rate is normal. You dip into his what he allows to lefties, though. The home run per 9 hasn't caught up to last year. The hard contact rate's down. The barrel rate's down. So we'll spend a second to look at Hauser's pitch difference from last year to this year. It's like a Jake job. See, expected average allowed 261. Last year was 249. The slider looks like he gave up the slider. Last year he threw the slider the second most, 629 expected slug, 571 actual slug. And the slider's been his least thrown pitch this season, and it still sucks. So he was able to deduce that, hey, my slider sucks. It's getting tore up. It's still getting tore up. All these other pitches, not too bad, though. So that's what has fixed Adrian Hauser. Cool. Is there a world where we play Adrian Hauser? I'm going to lean no. But, man, 17.5 outs. Crazier things can happen. I'm going to go with this Rangers run total. But I hate getting to the Rangers ever. So probably like a Substack. Man, like maybe there's a world where Hauser's interesting, man. Elder can't get guy. Elder can, but it's the Rockies. But Elder's, I mean, I don't know. I think with Elder, and this is just how I see it, his weaker side is the lefties, right? 4 and 5 xFIPs the last couple seasons against lefties. Since the beginning of last year, sub 3 xFIP to righties. Almost a 60%, I'll say 58% aggregate ground ball rate. Throwing strikes. Rockies suck in general, but they're only throwing 2 lefties anyway. So we can kind of lean strong on that. Now, yes, it is baseball. And we've seen the Rockies spoil some good pitchers, and Bryce Elder is not one of them. But I understand it, and I'm in on it. I wish he wasn't chalk, but it's like any pitcher against the Rockies that can go 5 innings right now, you just start them at 20% ownership for the rest of the year and go from there. Got 8% Hauser after Texas emptied the clip yesterday. I'm kind of interested in Hauser. I don't know. But I'm hesitant. But I would say, like, he's Bryce Elder-esque, where his righty stuff looks good, lefty stuff not so much. And unlike the Rockies, the Rangers have spread out, I guess, 4 lefties. Jonah Heim is So Evan Carter, Seager, and Josh Smith. I guess I respect Seager and Carter more than Moniak and McMahon, but that's maybe a lateral. I don't know. I think it's the pitch mix that is intriguing me the most about Adrian Hauser. But I'm gonna chill on that. Let that simmer. Let the projection do the talking, I guess. Is Tavares better than Carter? Oh, I don't know about that. Bomb detector. There is one, yeah. Highest guy from Nut. Alright, Judgy, Gunnar Henderson. Seager's always up there. A lot of Baltimore. Love when that happens. I do. The Astros and Twins are playing baseball in Minute Maid. I mean, it's not Minute Maid anymore. I still call it Minute Maid. I'm sorry. What's it now? Some like insurance company? I don't know. Buxton, Jeffers, Correa, Ty France, Royce Lewis, Willie Castro, Matt Wallner. There's some stadiums you just I don't know why we got brand loyalty to an orange juice, but like it was American Family Field or whatever in Milwaukee. I still call it Miller. I don't know, man. Am I just an old boomer? Back in my day, you couldn't sponsor the name of a freaking building, bro. Remember the Staples Center? Loserville Park. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. All right, green light on both lineups here. Pitching matchup: Chris Paddack taking on Colton Gordon. Chris Paddack at 18% K rate. With the Astros, we always kind of lean on the righty splits. 22% K rate against righties. Sub 4 xFIP, 221 average. About a 1 on the home run per 9. This right here in a pitcher is basically what the Astros are as an offense, yeah? Like, you think about it, just so average. 22% K rate, cool. Hit for about that average. Power, yeah, about that power. Something like that. Yo, Michael Henry with the $5 dono. Appreciate that, Mike. Appreciate the thumbs up too, dude. It means a lot. Thank you. I gotta get the bing bong alert back. Inversely, Colton Gordon, 24.2 innings of sample from him this season. What kind of length can we get from him? 5.55. All right. 23.6% K rate, 138 on the whip. The actual ERA a little bit worse than his Sierra and expected ERA, but a single-digit swing and strike rate. Usually the sub 10% swing and strike rate doesn't often coexist with such a high K rate, but it looks like he's striking out lefties at a super high clip, and that happens lefty versus lefty. He's only facing Matt Wallner, so much like Chris Paddack, we can hyper focus on these righty splits, and it could be a long day for him. Just a 21% K rate, 375 xFIP, almost a 1.8 home run per nine, and we know, doesn't take much to sneak over the Crawford boxes. So I kind of like the Twins to isolate those splits. Yeah, I'm gonna go Twins. Oh man, I appreciate that, Mike, dude. You're awesome. I'm gonna go Twins. Paddack and Astros feel like the same play, but Paddack 7,100. Like how often can we get 20 fantasy points out of Paddack? God dang, bro. Last 3 games is the elite microcosm of floor, median, ceiling for Chris Paddack. All right, I'm gonna list Twins. If Paddack falls where he falls, cool. Let's go put a pitcher projection here. Let's go. I'm gonna give Paddack a 20% K rate. We'll give him a little bit of boost on his splits. And then for Colton Gordon, I'm gonna give him a 20% K rate actually. And then walk rate 7.5. Colton Gordon. Let's go 3. All right, outs. We'll go 17.5 for Paddack. And we'll go 15.5 for Gordon. We'll go 2 right there. I think that's gonna make Paddack look like a usable click, honestly. At Correa at plus 450. Buxton's already down. Yeah, I might jump on Buxton with you for this 5 pick. If I can get his fantasy points to something decent. 6.5, dude, all day, right? Like what? What are we doing? I'm in on that. All right, next game. Lawrence Butler, Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker, Tyler Soderstrom, Max Muncy, Nick Kurtz, Louis, Austin Wynns. All right, so, kind of Pogen. I don't want to act like, I mean, these aren't 8. I don't have 8,000 subs from this season, bro. I probably would have 100 if I'm lucky. If I launched a baseball only channel. This is from almost 10 years of grinding all sports. Which I'm pretty sure I'm done grinding all sports, but I'm sure you were around. But man, those daily basketball streams, dude, 300, 400 viewers here, then we flip over to Stochastic, they would have 7,000. I mean, those are some fun times, dude. Fun times. I used to have a blast doing shows with Eric. Had a certain aura we had to uphold over there. Severino taking on Michael Wacha out there in Kaufman. Royals finishing the series against the Yankees. Now they get former Yankees Severino on the bump as they offer up Michael Wacha in his 18% K rate. Neither pitcher big time on the strikeout. Severino, though, when you put him in more spacious parks, we've seen some usable games, but I don't think the Royals is ever going to be that team for me this season that I want to punt pitching. With Severino, he doesn't get strikeouts. The Royals don't strike out. And if Severino does have a couple of flaws, a couple of scratches against him, he's not really going to be able to erase those points with strikeouts. So not running towards that. Michael Wacha, kind of the same thing. Inversely, though, there are some more accidental strikeouts in this Athletics lineup. And they've been a team that we've seen them really go crazy in the small parks, but in the bigger parks, we've seen them look a little bit more normal. But I'm still more inclined to get to the Athletics versus a contact guy, even if that guy has just perfectly fine average numbers, right? So let's do this. Let's go Athletics. Let's go, what's the weather out there? 80 degrees. Maybe I'm backwards here. Maybe we go Royals and Athletics. There's almost a 1-run difference. I do feel like the Royals are easier to stack because you know who you want. I think with the Athletics, you got to spend more lineups to get to spread out, right? You know, if I'm stacking the Royals, I know I want Bobby Witt, probably Pasquantino, Salvi, and Jack Caglione. Everyone else is spin the wheel, make a deal. The Athletics, Lawrence Butler, yeah. Jacob Wilson, AL Rookie of the Year, yeah. Brent Rooker, always on top of the bond detector. Tyler Stone, yeah. Max Muncy doesn't suck lately. Nick Kurtz, top prospect. Austin Wins somehow got this stat line. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's more combos to be had, and the WRC pluses tell the story here. So, kind of crazy to see such a drastic difference in run total, but it is what it is. So give me Royals, Athletics. But I think the Athletics will cost me more lineups to get combinations than the Royals, if that makes sense. Because the Royals drop off a cliff. I know Caglioni's ISO looks bad here, but we trust and believe that that's going to start rising really soon. It's one of the, he's just got to figure it out at the major league level. Well, this guy has just been a monster at every level up to this point. So I don't expect the 045 ISO to sustain much longer, unless he just is Jared Kelenic part 2. Eric's hilarious. Yeah, I'm so proud of Hiller. Somebody mentioned me being a character and having analytics. I think Eric has really mastered being a character, but also citing useful information. And he grinds, dude. He grinds. So I got nothing but respect for Eric. And he has a good sense of humor, right? He'll be the butt of a joke. When we do some shows together, we never really talked off the air. Like all those bits we were doing, that was all on the fly. And as somebody that likes to make people laugh, I respect it. Because I think it's really hard to juggle being a nerd and being funny. You just don't see that combo much. He's pretty good at it. 3.5 run total for the Cardinals. Brewers 4.2. Eric Fetty taking on Freddie Peralta. Fetty a 15% K rate, 5.28 on the expected ERA, 5.26 on the Sierra. Just nothing here that I want to use. The Brewer side, Freddie Peralta has been having a quietly good season. Power allowed to righty, sure, that's been a thing the last 3 years. Cardinals, from looking for a powerful righty, it's Wilson Contreras. You get the brothers going at it, cool. That's a fun narrative. But other than that, like, I think the ghost of Arenado doesn't really scare me much. So as far as this single game, I'm gonna get to Freddie Peralta. I'm not in love with it, but just thinking about other pitchers we've talked about so far, it's kind of a shallow pool. So I think Peralta's stuff is good enough that at 9,500, yeah, I'm gonna get there enough to say that I did. And then the Brewers offense, wait for this confirmed lineup, but Chourio, Yelich, William Contreras, Rhys Hoskins, 4 guys that I would start with and then kind of expand from there. Against Fetty, sure. Fetty not allowing much power to righties. High hard contact, barrel rate's okay, walk rate's high enough. And then with the Brewers, I know. I want to get to them for. I want to get to any stack for homers. But Milwaukee is second in stolen bases to just the Rays. So you can get away with this Brewer stack offering up some extra points based on is that right? I click something wrong? Let's see, team batting stats. Stolen bases. No, that's right. All right, second to the race. So the Chorrillos to Yelich's, you can get some stolen bases there. So we're gonna go Brewers, Peralta, and that's how I do that. And then I was gonna say Peralta's striking out lefties at a lower clip. But there's 4 lefties, so we'll respect that to not really change much. Oh, we gotta go to Severino. Carrot 16.6, Waka 18%, Severino 7, Waka 6.2. That's almost satisfying. 6.2% walk rate to righties, 6.2% to lefties. Jesus. 15%. 24.5. Did I watch his debut? Yeah, that dude's gonna be a problem. Did he get hurt though? The evolution of pitching is, in my lifetime, is just not fair, dude. Which makes, okay, I get, you guys can cringe at this. It makes the almost 400 batting average of Aaron Judge feel like even crazier to me. And a half, really? All right. Sprained ankle? Dang. Baby Randy. Waiting for someone to come up with the cool nickname for a dude because of that last name. Yeah. I mean, I could say the word miso. And every one of y'all just finished that sentence, so there might be something to that. Padres and the D-backs. Stephen Kolek taking on Ryan Nelson like a rhinestone cowboy. Kolek with a 17% K rate, if that. Nelson, 20.4. Walking lefties at a crazy clip. Jesus. A lot of lefties in that D-backs lineup, so we're going to have to attack them pretty dramatically. Ryan Nelson, walk rate. 8. Go check our projections. 16.5, 15.5. All right, there's never a world where I don't love the Diamondbacks, but Kolek, 1.53 homer per 9 to lefties, 15% walk rate against the D-backs. We look at this stolen base list. D-backs are a lot lower than I thought they would be at 53, but we know Corbin Carroll can run. And there's just too much allowed here to lefties. So Carroll, Marte, Perdomo, Josh Naylor, Pavin Smith. I'm in. Ryan Nelson, inversely gettable. Padres just they still carry that name brand aura, but have not been as elite. But I won't talk you off of Tatis and Machado day to day. Looks like Roof is going to be closed this whole series. So there's that. So I think Nolan Ryan can strike out anybody. Yeah, if you guys ever seen that documentary on Netflix called Fastball, it's a slow burn, but basically it kind of suggests that Nolan Ryan. It suggests that the way we track velocity today is different than what they did, and that Nolan Ryan probably threw 100 plus miles an hour. Which, yeah, who am I to argue? I forget what it was. They used to the radar would be different at a different start stop. I don't know. Yeah, what up, RC? I'll go Padres. We know that the D-backs bullpen sucks. And I would get to these lefties on the D-backs pretty quickly. What kind of fantasy points can we get for Corbin Carroll? Kind of thinking 8.5. That's up there. All right, we'll let that simmer. Yeah, Nolan Ryan was a freak. That was a baseball player, dude. Out there. Back in my day, we pitched both games of the doubleheader. You know what I mean? We used chewing tobacco liberally. We didn't need sticky stuff. I'd spit tobacco on my hand. It worked the same, okay? Now you got these video game nerds ruining my game. Logan Webb taking on Yamamoto out there in Dodger Stadium. 3.3 run total for the Giants, 4.5 for the Dodgers. So not a lot of implied offense in the Battle of the Bay. Is that what you call it? I don't know. Logan Webb's been pretty doggone good. 28.5% K rate, 20.4% call strike, a 5% barrel rate, and the ground ball rate. Whew, sexy. But it's the Dodgers, so not expecting a ton of strikeouts from the Dodgers day to day, but this lineup, or at least this projected lineup, sure does have some strikeouts. And one thing Jake's put me on is changeups against Ohtani. And double check what Logan Webb does throw a changeup quite a bit. So, oh, what did I just click? Yep, all right. How do we rank this out? I think I'm gonna go with Yamamoto. I think I get to some Webb betting on talent, but it is pucker the butt cheeks type of matchup. And then Dodgers, obviously, and I never get to the Giants. Cool. Logan Webb, 28.5% K rate. Yamamoto, 29.6. Walk rates, 4.5. Doc Ellis, oh my God, yeah. Guy's just out there being drunk or on LSD, throwing David Wells out there hungover, throwing a perfect game, bro. Just a different dude. That's basically Savannah Bananas, right? Okay. No, man, dude. Baseball used to be like just so romantic and stuff like that. They ruined it. Who cares if he wants to shoot himself up with horse tranquilizers? You know? Let him do it. I paid $7 for a hot dog. I should be able to watch the Incredible Hulk swing a baseball bat. That's stupid. What am I saying? 18. We'll give them both 18. That country boy. One game left on the docket. Hey, if you guys want access to the spreadsheet throughout the weekend, next week, blah, 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 go to MLBgrind.com, click premium memberships, week pass, week sub, month sub, and you can lock in the rest of the year for $100. And you also get a Discord. Even on the days where I'm not streaming, I'm maintaining the spreadsheet. So, if you guys want it, come and get it. 3.6 run total for the Guardians. 3.6 run total for the Mariners. Gavin Williams, AK, 25% overall K rate. Striking out lefties a little bit more than righties. This is going to be a half and half Mariners lineup. T-Mobile Park has played pretty neutral to offense the last couple of years, which is where you can kind of neutralize this Mariners offense and dip into their insanely high K rates. And then just a couple of guys since the beginning of last year at above average WRC plus, but Mariners are still a good team. So anytime a pitcher trends towards high ownership against this team, I always make sure I have some type of leverage against it, because it is not unlike the Mariners to, have some explosion games. Especially Cal Raleig's he's literally 6K today. That's insane. J-Rod, Polanco, Rosarina, you can also steal a base. There's enough paper cuts there, right? And the Guardians not quite as much. J-Ram, Quan, cool. Castillo on the bump for the Mariners on the season, a sub 20% overall K rate, striking out righties at a much higher clip than lefties. We focus on those lefty splits. 5.39 xFIP, that's a problem. 15% K rate, also a problem. Somehow surviving with a 0.57 home run per 9. Usually that's not consistent with a higher fly ball rate than ground ball rate. I guess the hard contact's not as high as you might think, but the barrel rate 11.4% for a less than 1 home run per 9, it's kind of crazy. So I'm kind of on the fence here. I don't love the spot for upside. I do kind of like the price. How do we do this? I think I'm going to go pitching first. Just kind of hoping the park bails us out. I'd go Guardian Substack, and we know who that is, and then Mariners. Let's go Gavin Williams, 25% K rate. Castillo, I'm gonna give him a 20. Walk rate, Heal. Let's go 12.5. Castillo, 8.5. Bunting, oh my god, you remember bunting? Remember pitchers hitting? Sheesh. Let's go look at outs. And then we need to maybe come up with five clicks, yeah. 17.5 for everybody. And that is gonna be able to unlock our full slate. Toronto, Philly, Miami. Put that in. Let's go. Wait, middle slate. No, let's do main slate. Middle slate. What the f is that? Main slate. Pharrell. You guys got any props you're absolutely in love with tonight? Make this price pick slip for Flex Friday. Yeah, Cal's a beast. Bartolo hit a homer off a big game James Shields top 5 moment. And then they traded James Shields for Tatis, right? Yeah, that's that moment was insane. It don't matter what team you were a fan of. There's some players that just transcend, you just like them. Bartolo, he's just a likable dude. So the fact that he gets a homer, it was just every fan base was just like, what? This is awesome. All right, let's go update some lineups, and then I'm gonna try to create a Flex Friday 6-pick or 5-pick, whatever. You guys don't know what Flex Friday is? It's a fan prize picks thing where it's a $20 max. So we're gonna put together a $20 card, and if it doesn't hit, or if you don't profit off of it, you get your $20 back in site credit to lose it tomorrow. Dude, this rain brings these mosquito gnats. And every now and then they slip through this window. I bought some duct tape yesterday to kind of duct tape around the second AC, but clearly they still get in here. Yankees lineup, green light. Rays lineup came out. Lau, Diaz, Aranda, Caminero, Mangum, Meisner, Danny Jansen, green light. White Sox lineup came out. Tauchman, Mydroth, Benintendi, Vargas, Teal. But if you guys have some props that you really like today, or some players you really like, even if it's not props, because I think on PrizePicks, what I really like to bet is just fantasy points, and it's kind of like all-encompassing. I am open to make a community slip here. I think we are caught up on lineups too, by the way. All right, we can close out our projections tab. We can reset the bomb detector. Locked in Alonso over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Buxton over 6.5 fantasy points. Olsen 6.5 fantasy points. Josh Naylor. Schwarber over 6. Schwarber's at 6 fantasy points? I'll join you on that. Heck yeah. He's at the top of the bomb detector, so let's do that. All right, so I'm with you. I think we were both there on Buxton, right? So Buxton, Schwarber, yes. Olsen, we like Olsen. Ron Marquez, 324 average to lefties, 142 homer per 9 to lefties. Braves have a 5.6 run total. Olsen's your cleanup guy. Ooh, I'm liking what you're selling, dude. I'm liking what you're selling. So you went with the hits. No, you went fantasy points. Oh, he's moved to 7. I'm still not against that, but you got a good deal on that. Let's placeholder that, and then if we want to change it, we will. I like Alonso, 1.5 hits, runs, RBI. That one I'm not in love with. The trolley ground ball rate, but and the weather. So I'll steal the other 3 from you. Naylor. Ooh, I do want some Diamondbacks represented in this card tonight. Get that little late sweat. Let me get your sheets wet. Listen to the late sweat. That's the Diamondbacks. I don't know. That's stupid. Let me see. Naylor is bad. Is he bad in cleanup? He is. Everything's looking good for Naylor here. I think I like that call. Josh. Five all day long. All right, so here we at. We're at 4. Olsen 7. I'm not gonna. The half a point is not gonna kill me, but we'll think about it. Thinking Jackson Merrill might need glasses. Like, so what do you think about these gosh dang Orioles, man? I feel like. Oh man, it's so frustrating. All year, anytime the Orioles just look like they can't miss, they miss. But like, is this not like the elite Gunnar Henderson spot? Gunnar Henderson 4th on the bomb detector, by the way. I can't do this to myself, can I? 7.5 fantasy points. Oh, Ryan O'Hearn. He's been nice to me. Can I get him closer to 5 fantasy points? I can't get him at all for fantasy points. Come on, man. Hernandez over 3. Ooh. Mitchell Parker. Let me see. Yeah, Mitchell Parker's kind of a bum. Hernandez in the minors, 220. Got nothing. I mean, yeah, you're just kind of banking on him to survive. How has he got a higher average? I guess it's short sample. Three's a really light number. I'll give you that. Hidden in the bottom. All right, let me go look at fantasy points. Straight up, see anything screams at me here. I do love looking at 5s and 5.5s. Max Kepler's towards the top of the bomb detector, but he's batting cleanup at 4.5 fantasy points, yo. Kepler came in top 10 in the bomb detector. Is 4.5 too light? And I literally closed the one tab I needed. That's all right. Taking over the Bryce Harper role. Nah, I don't want to bet on Gossman. Although now that I think about it, Schwarber's kind of spooking me. But I guess I ain't no punk. Yeah, Kepler might be a little too cheap in fantasy points. C4 creamsicle. I've done C4 creamsicle. It's pretty good. I'm not a massive C4 guy. Prefer dynamite, you know. Herberto's batting third. Why did I have him so low? I have him 8th, Josh. Is that not right? Was there an update? Yeah, they tweeted that he's 8th. Presented by Fanduel Sports. Only 5 calories. Brother. I don't think I've not bought something for calories. Keeping it moving. Screaming at me yet. Seager's kind of interesting. Like his powers are broken, but Hauser certainly has some lefty woes. Whoa. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of jumping into another twin. Is Correa too much? Batting third. A little revenge narrative, right? Back in home. They'll probably give him a standing ovation. And he gets the first inning at bat. It's usually like 4th, right? I think my boy Nakrizi said he liked Correa today too. I think we might do. There's some handcuffs going. So handcuff Buxton and Correa. Positive correlation. I'm on the fence on Schwarber, but I kind of want to just trust it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could do up to 6, right? Yeah. Is there another D-back I want to get to? Time to Naylor. I'm not getting a great deal on Corbin Carroll, but at the same time, he's kind of a leadoff goat. 10 plus fantasy points with this stat line. Romy Gonzalez. This fantasy point, it's Fanduel scoring. Ooh, Romy batting third. 5 fantasy points. That's a lefty. Yankees bullpen's a little bit weak too. I don't think that's crazy. I hate to have to root for that though. Lindor hits, runs, RBIs as a leadoff. That's not too bad. Yelich, 6 fantasy points. I think the Brewers had a healthy run total, right? Dude, I'm telling you, freaking Gunnar Henderson staring me in the face. But it's 7.5. Might as well bet him to hit a homer at that point. No, their run total is only 4. Why was I thinking it's higher? 3 for walk. Okay, so I'll say this. I like the idea of Romy. I don't want to sweat it for fan reasons, but I think biasness aside, I think that's a good call. How do I not grab an Oriole at a 6-run total, man? The process is the process, but Gunnar Henderson did. This Angels bullpen sucks. That's kind of something I want to do too, is make sure we got 8 innings plus of. Oh man, Gunnar Henderson. What's the best line we can get on Gunnar? Total bases or fantasy points? Probably total bases, yeah. Because if Henderson's gonna beat his fantasy prop, I guess he steals more than I thought he did. Yeah. 1.5 total bases, interesting. If it's a double without anything, that's only what, 5 fantasy points? He steals a base that puts him over. I got him top 5 in the bomb detector. Or he's 4th in the bomb detector on the entire day. I kind of want to trade him for, I don't know, man. Schwarber, something's telling me I don't want to sweat Kevin Gossman, but at the same time, Schwarber's just an animal batting second. I should just suck it up. Freaking Gunnar Henderson, bro. Lineup just came out for the O's. Did it? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so they are throwing Holiday, Rushman, Henderson, O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano, Cedric Mullins, Ramon Urias, Dylan Carlson, and Maverick Hanley. So the bottom of the lineup changes quite a bit. See if that run total holds up. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna suck it up and play Henderson. But I think for me, it's like, do I want the total bases or the fantasy score? We're getting surgical. Racer. You got 2 Ramones in the starting lineup, bro. Who does that? He's got 8 stolen bases. So it's not like a massive thing. I'm thinking total bases to play. But a double and a run is 7, right? Seven and a half. Let's get an RBI double. Let's do it. F it. Henderson fantasy. Blah blah blah. All right. The only other thing is Schwarber. Do we want to keep? So we're gonna handcuff Buxton, Correa, Naylor, little cleanup, Olsen, little cleanup job. Schwarber at 6 fantasy points is such a premier number. Kevin Gossman against lefties. XFIP is high, but it's not trash, right? He just allows homers. So it's like either he's going to homer or he's going to fly out based on that. That's got me spooked a little bit. A little bit. What would it look like without him? First of all, let's go 20. Oh, you know what? I did this last week and it didn't register it as a flex. Oh, I had to click that. That's what it was. What would one more anything? O'Hearn. Wouldn't hate a O'Hearn handcuff to, but there was really nothing for him. They didn't give us a fantasy prop for him. And these lines just suck. Yeah, those lines just suck. You can't do nothing with that. Nats bullpen sucks. No, I don't want to do that. Man, I really like your Romy call. I don't want to have to sweat it. I guess he's been up long enough. .353 average this year against lefties. Last year, 300 average. 20. So, last 2 full years, batting 300 plus. Small sample this year, but OBP 421. Last year 362. Dang, bro. Dang, bro. We might do it. Oh, Correa. Wait, Correa went down? Correa went down? Did I just read that? I don't think that's right. He went from 5.5 to 5? What are we, stupid? I think I'm joining you on Romy, bro. I traded Schwarber for Romy, so I'm looking at Buxton, Olsen, Naylor. $20. Gunnar Henderson has already screwed me. I already know it. Did it go through? I don't know. There it is. All right. You're right. I'll screenshot it and post it. Not surgical. I think that'll be it. What's up, AO? We did the line. All right, so we're all set. All right, I'm gonna get on my grind. Let you guys go watch some other shows. Appreciate you guys hanging out to the bitter end. I think we won't stream again until Monday. I'm sorry. Yeah, tomorrow's a lot of day stuff, early stuff, Sunday as well. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's looking like a good day stream. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday next week. Looks like the schedule from right now. So I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. Go check out somebody else. I'm sure Adam and Terry are out there. Wait, what happened? Oh, never mind. All right, we're all set. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Good luck. God bless. Go in. Some money.